Hello and welcome to my channel, and if you have already been to my channel, then welcome back. My name is Kalina and I'm an expert in public relations and mass communications, and in this video we're going to talk about how to evaluate an environment, because I have already mentioned many times how important the environment is for you in order to feel your best and reach your full potential. And just as we're evaluating people, like when you communicate with somebody, you try to evaluate them, you try to make the right impression about them. The exact same way you can evaluate a whole environment. So here is how you do that. First of all, you need to feel the overall energy in this environment. Do you feel calm? Do you feel accepted? Or do you have some tension and you feel unease? Do you feel calmness or do you feel nervousness? If you're nervous, if the overall energy makes you nervous, then it's probably a hostile environment, or maybe it is too far away from your authenticity. So you need to understand, why do you feel this tension? Why is that energetic field not fitting in with your energy? Okay. So that's the very first component that you need to consider. Then you need to hear and evaluate the topics and the way that they're discussed. What is discussed? Is it things that are not important, that are more on the surface? Is it other people and gossip and things that are with low vibrational energy? Or is it deeper topics that can be something that you want to build together, or something that you want to change in the world, or something that is going to contribute for the whole humanity? What is it that's discussed, and is this the conversations and the discussions that you want to have? So it's not only what somebody says and what opinion everybody has and how they respond to disagreement. Those are things that are still a little bit on the surface. Pay attention to the overall topics that are discussed. For example, recently I really love to be on certain calls that are connected to human design. And I have done for myself my own human design reading by an expert. Even though I'm not a human design expert, I don't really know much about the topic. But when I join those calls and I listen to those people, I can feel the environment as a very positive space. And when people are discussing human design, they're also discussing different topics that are very helpful on psychological level. They're discussing situations in life, and they're discussing how you can actually improve your life, and how you can improve yourself, and how you can create better habits for yourself. They're discussing relationships and health. You know, all of those are things that are quite important and quite meaningful. And I feel very positive overall energy. So whenever I can, I'm joining those calls. Even though I'm not an expert, I'm somebody that just listens. This is something that I really enjoy as an environment to be within. And I also find it very helpful and very useful for me, and I'm learning new things. Okay? So it's not only about, is it environment that is particularly in your field of work or in your field of expertise. It could be another environment, but what is this environment all about? Okay? And of course, in some environments, you're going to be the expert. In other environments, you're going to be the person who listens. You're more like a public, but you still get to choose, and it's still important because that can become your source of influence. And the sources of influence are also very important for you and for your overall state of being. The other thing that you need to evaluate is, do you feel natural in that environment? Or do you feel like there's competition and people are trying to one-up one another, and you feel like you have to actually be loud in order to be heard? That speaks very badly about the environment, because it is a space that people don't truly want to learn. They don't truly want to connect to each other. They're in this ongoing competition that may become very unpleasant. And I have been in other environments that are exactly the opposite of what I shared about this human design community, right? I have been in, and I'm not saying that NLP is bad, but I have been in environment of NLP training. I signed up for several NLP events, and of course I was there as a listener. And I'm not, well, NLP is first of all not truly my own thing, but then the environment around me was not really for me. The people in the room, the person who was the presenter, the teacher, the whole energy, it wasn't really about me. And any time that I was speaking, I had that feeling that I had to clarify things, or I had to apologize myself for things, or I had to overly explain myself. I felt judged by a lot of the people, you know, and even by the person who was the actual lecturer, the teacher. And I'm pretty sure that this person has helped a lot of people. Probably he's not a bad person, and probably he's good at what he's doing, but this just didn't feel like my own environment. Okay, so it really depends on how you feel within that environment. And are you naturally yourself? Are everybody allowed to speak? Do you have to alter your message? Do you have to downplay or somehow up-level yourself, be a little louder in order to get your message across? How authentic you can be within this environment. So notice this, because it is very important. You may end up in an environment that you feel stuck all the time, and anywhere you try to go, left or right, you're gonna feel like you're bumping to a wall, because the other person or the other people or the rest of the people, they will not be receiving that message. They will not be accepting you. And it is very hard to function in this environment. And very often, if you're a person who is a little more like a free soul or a little more creative, you can start being attacked or bullied, or somebody can start picking on you. And a lot of time people are just noticing that you're different. Another thing that you need to notice, this is not about the quality of the environment, because you can be the speaker or the listener or the teacher or the student in different environments, but they can still be a good quality environments. But this is something that you need to see and understand about the environment. Are you the speaker or are you the listener? And of course, you're going to have your time to speak and to listen either way, but you need to understand your role in the environment, because you can be the one that goes there as the person that people will listen to and learn from, or you can be the person who goes there like a person who's going to learn from somebody. And this is going to require different attitude from you, and you're gonna fit in a different way. Okay? And of course I made a whole video about fitting versus belonging. So it is always better to feel like you belong, but your whole energy and your whole attitude will be different in the environment that you are the speaker or the teacher, and in environment that you are somebody that has to listen. Because if you go there as the listener and you disrespect the speaker, and at the same time you show that you're not ready to listen and learn, then you're gonna make a bad impression about yourself. People will not have good opinion about you, right? Because you don't want to be the know-it-all, right? Sometimes there are people who know better than you. That doesn't mean that they disrespect you. That means that in this particular situation, you're at the position of the listener, and the best that you can do is to just listen. Just listen and learn. But in another situation, when you are the speaker, then you cannot just stand there and listen, because people have expectations from you. Now you have to deliver certain quality. So this is very important element, even though it doesn't say about the quality of the environment in particular. It says more about your role in it. But that is also something that you should pay attention to. And the last thing that you should pay attention to is how are you presented? Are you required to push to present yourself? Or are you naturally presented by somebody? Or are you given a time and the space in certain spots to present yourself in the right moment? All of those things matter, because if you're required to just push yourself in order to present yourself, in order to introduce yourself, and then you feel like you're not well accepted just with your introduction, then this is probably an environment that is of a low quality. And usually in the higher quality environments, you either have somebody who is responsible to present you in the right way, or you have certain space. There is a time that you're given the opportunity to present yourself. And when you present yourself, that is met with respect. You have people actually interested in you, and then of course you need to respond the same way when the others present themselves. Okay, so this is very important, because you're evaluating the dynamics in that environment and how people are respected. Okay, so this is for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Please let me know in the comments what do you think. Have you noticed some of those things when you were introduced to new environments? What are the qualities that you are looking for in an environment? What are the elements that help you recognize the environment that you're in? I'm very curious to know that. What's your experience? Also, you can like and share this video, and you can subscribe for my channel. Lastly, I'm gonna leave below a link to my website so that you can see a little more about me, who I am, and what I'm doing. Thank you very much and have a great day.